Iran is facing further isolation as the world's biggest electronic banking system, known as SWIFT, prepares to cut off dozens of financial firms blacklisted by the EU. It's part of a broader effort by European nations who also plan to impose an embargo on Iranian oil this summer to pressure Iran over its nuclear program. But as Sarah Firth now reports, the measures are likely to ricochet straight back.
Spain is among the EU's biggest importers of Iranian oil, but all that's set to change when the EU imposed sanctions on Tehran come into force in July. Spain has until then to find alternative sources of crude supplies. But the ban on Iran's posing a real risk to the country that until now has been fueled by Iranian oil. Petrol prices are on the rise, and there are fears that they're about to be pumped even higher, with the Iranian oil embargo looming. The EU-imposed ban comes as the West's been making waves over Iran's nuclear program. It's hoped that hitting Iran's oil revenues will bring the country to the bargaining table.
Even assuming that the case against Iran is strong, the sanctions right now and exercised by countries like Spain or Greece or Italy damage those countries more than it will damage Iran.
Whilst countries like France and Britain import only a very small percentage of Iranian oil and supported the ban, it's the countries struggling the West economically right now, Spain, Greece and Italy, that are going to feel the effect of the sanctions the most.
Of course, we can't refuse the pressure from the US, from Britain, from France is extraordinary. Our foreign minister actually said that it was a huge sacrifice, that Spain was sacrificing herself for the sake of unanimity within the European Union. So he couldn't be more clear about the fact that we have been forced to make this decision. We didn't want to.
We're told that in a healthy economic situation, a rise in oil prices might be problematic. But coming at a time when Spain is on the brink of a second recession, it's proving a nightmare for the population.
It's terrible that we should pay for decisions taken in Brussels. It's not known whom they are taken for, but certainly not for simple residents.
It certainly should trigger a rise in prices. We should follow the example of the US to tighten our belt and keep the issue of nuclear weapons apart to revive our economy.
Of course I'm afraid, because they're already too high. If they go any higher, we won't be able to afford gas.
Attempts to calm fears about a rise in prices have been made. Saudi Arabia says it's got enough oil to make up for the loss of Iran's supplies when the embargo comes into force. But countries like Spain will still be paying the price of lost trade with Tehran and the cost of replacing those oil contracts. Ironically, Spain's imports of oil from Iran had increased since the EU-backed Libyan war. Now the prospect of hostilities with Iran is causing huge concern.
While there's no war, price escalations due to sanctions can be corrected. The problems will come if there is a war with Iran. Then you could see a real crisis.
For now, countries like Spain are left at the mercy of a volatile situation that no one wants to see ignite. Sarah Firth, RT, Spain.